The hustle was acquired by HubSpot for $25 million. Morning Brew was bought by Business Insider for $75 million cash. Both of those businesses built off a newsletter. So if you're still not convinced enough, by the end of this video, you're gonna learn 5 reasons why you need a newsletter today, with real examples. So this video is for you if you are, on the one hand, a business owner who wants to have a real control on their audience and find a marketing channel with the highest ROI. And on the other hand, if you're a creator or a personal brand who wants to take the most out of their audience and make real money. My own newsletter has an open rate of over 60%, and many newsletters I've created in the past 10 years of a marketing career have sparked some really interesting discussions. Subscribe to this channel for more marketing tips, and let's go. By the way, this video is sponsored by Brew. More on them later. So the reason number 1 is you actually own your audience. So when you rely on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you are at their mercy. Algorithms change all the time. We've seen that in the past multiple times. But what about your email list? That is an asset you actually own. So if Twitter crashes tomorrow or TikTok gets banned in your own country, you have a direct line and control to your audience. Quick example, Sam Parr, founder of The Hustle, first tried growing with just a website and social media. But of course, traffic and followers were just unpredictable, so he decided to double down on email. He sold out his first conference, HustleCon, using simple email sequences. That list became the foundation for The Hustle's 2 million subscribers and 15 million a year in ad revenue.
This idea of like, if we create a daily email, if you do the math is such that if I can charge $50 per 1,000 sends to my email, which was roughly the going rate, and I can get 1 million people to subscribe, and if I send them an email every single day of the month, that would be like $1.5 million a month. And if I'm pretty good at writing, tech is like a pretty big sector. I bet you I can get 1 million people to subscribe to this newsletter and build an $18 million business.
So the reason number 2 is email marketing, and your newsletter gives you an insane ROI. Email marketing generates $42 for every $1 spent. That is a 4,200% return. Way better than playing around and gambling with Instagram and TikTok and their algorithms, right? Some studies show that email delivers $36 for every $1 spent, though still the ratio is insane. For any marketer out there, try to compare it to any other marketing channel and you're going to see that email is the winner. And I know that a lot of people are hesitant to start email marketing even after hearing all of that, even hearing about all of this potential ROI. And the reason is because it feels overwhelming, like you think that you need a tech team just to set up and sign up form or your first newsletter. Honestly, I get it. I used to think the same, but that's exactly the reason why I've been using Brew for a few years now. Brew makes building and growing your email list incredibly simple, even if you have no technical background like myself. You can, for example, create high-converting sign-up forms in just a few clicks. Just use their drag-and-drop editor. And once people sign up, Brew can actually automatically send personalized emails without you even lifting a finger. Plus, it actually easily integrates with your favorite tools. And the best part, it's completely free to get started. So with a free plan, you can send up to 300 emails per day. This is insane. And if you need more, they're super affordable plans. Start at just 13.5 euros per month. Brew is trusted by over 500,000 businesses worldwide. And now you can try it too. Just hop on a link in the description below and you're going to see a special offer from me. And the reason number 3 to have a newsletter is you build real trust, not just random followers. People actually don't really hand out their emails lightly. I'm pretty sure you've noticed that people are sort of protected of their own personal information, but once you actually have their email, the connection feels just way deeper compared to any social media scroll. You probably all know James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. His book sold over 20 million copies globally, by the way. But his story didn't start with a best-selling book. He actually started with a simple blog, and he was hoping thinking that SEO and social media would just, serve as a foundation for building his audience. But eventually, he quickly realized that he couldn't rely on unpredictable traffic.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I had these products, and I would launch them, and nobody cared.
So he decided to make this decision early on that every article he wrote would also grow his email list. And he published 2 articles a week, simply like clockwork. And this way, he started building direct relationships with his readers. So he built more than 1 million subscriber newsletter simply by consistently sending super valuable content, building trust, and eventually, of course, he turned those readers into book buyers. That email list didn't just grow, it actually became the launch pad for Atomic Habits.
And the growth of the newsletter is a good indicator that, yes, people find it valuable.
The newsletter is way bigger than it was before. There are way more subscribers. Now, that's not the only measure of whether it's providing value to people, but people seem to really like it, and it definitely is performing well. And, it takes me 1/15 of the time.
And the reason number 4 to start your newsletter today is you actually don't need a huge email list to win. This is one of the biggest misconceptions that I've been hearing from business owners, from marketing tips. Even with a small, but of course, engaged list, you can start generating attention, customers, investors, partnerships, real business opportunities, you name it. Have you ever heard of Shan Puri? So he's an entrepreneur and a podcaster at My First Million. So he started with a tiny personal newsletter. At that point, he had around from 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers. And instead of focusing on growing huge numbers super fast, he decided to focus on writing super high valuable, relatable content just for those few thousand people. And because this list was small but super engaged, he started landing consulting gigs, he built deeper relationships with investors and founders, and eventually he used this newsletter to launch his podcast, My First Million, and this became a massive brand. With just a few thousand email subscribers, he was generating more business opportunities that a lot of people get with like 100K Instagram followers, for example. Reason number 5, newsletters are way, way easier than you think. Think about it. You don't need to be Tolstoy, you don't need to be Hemingway. Actually, simple, concise, to the point newsletters win over any complex and long ones. Think about some of the newsletters that you read a lot, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to notice the same pattern. You don't need to make selfies. You don't need to post videos. So the barrier to entry into the email marketing world is actually super low. Morning Brew started as a simple daily business email for students back in, I think, 2015. And instead of chasing social media trends, they actually focused entirely on making business news super easy, useful, and just fun. And of course, they wanted to make sure that it lands directly in people's inboxes. So that consistent and valuable email built real loyalty super fast for them. In just a few years, they grew to over 1 million subscribers and they turned it into a full media company. Eventually, they sold it to Business Insider for $75 million. And as you can see, it all started with a simple newsletter and, of course, a clear focus on owning their audience. Subscribe to this channel for more email marketing tips and marketing tips in general. And if you want to see how to create your next and probably first newsletter real fast, literally in minutes, continue watching this next tutorial on my channel.